There are several benefits for pre-planning your funeral. Most people that we speak with say they pre-planned for peace of mind. Peace of mind knowing that their final wishes are going to be honored. It also spares their loved ones from financial burden. It spares their loved ones from making difficult decisions when they're grieving at a very stressful time.
The advantages of doing this is our children at such an emotional time won't have to go through trying to decide what would we want. I thought it was very important for us, being Catholic, to decide on our church service and the readings we wanted, the music we wanted. And this is the funeral we want, not what our children would have to pick out, not actually knowing some of that stuff.
With this way, one advantage I found is that you have what you want, your wishes come into play. Also, you relieve your family of any maybe decisions that they would disagree on. In this way, they know exactly what I contemplate, what I want.
When an individual decides to pre-plan their funeral, the first thing they'll need to do is select a funeral home. Then they will meet with the funeral director, and he or she will go over the different options for their future funeral. The merchandise, flowers, caskets, all the services included in that funeral, and they'll provide the prices for those things as well.
My brother Tim was ill, and he had Down syndrome and dementia, and he was really kind of fading. But my sister and I went. Timmy didn't have that much input in it because of his condition. But we went and we picked out everything that we needed to do and sat down with people and just planned the whole thing right out from start to finish, if you will.
I think in both of our cases, we knew my mom was going to pass away relatively soon, and we knew that Tim was going to pass away relatively soon. But having pre-planned their funeral, we were then able to spend the rest of the time that they were alive with them in the best way that we could. And so that when the death occurred, it was still very emotional. We were grieving, we were no less upset than we would have been, but we already knew that everything was ready. All we had to do was call up the person that we had dealt with. And then when family came in, we just could spend the time with the family and relive all of the fun and happy memories that we had. So that really, really helped.
I would recommend pre-planning because you don't know when it's going to happen, and it makes it so much easier on the surviving family members. We experienced it with my mom this past summer, and it was helpful because you're in such a state of grief and sadness that you really can't think straight. And so I'm glad that my father has made his arrangements, because now we know what he wants and he's going to get what he wants.
For more information, contact your local funeral home or the New York State Funeral Directors Association.